guys, Kylie here again. Welcome back to Yum Paleo. Today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be making a cottage pie. So what I've got here, I've got all the ingredients here. I've got 700 grams of premium ground up mince. I've got 3 carrots which I have chopped and peeled there. I've got 400 grams of diced tomato. That's going to go in. I've also got, I've used 5 kumaras. I've got 1 here, which I'm going to base the bottom of my cottage pie with. And the other 4 I've actually just turned on and they're boiling behind me, because what I'm going to do with them is we're going to make a mash over the top of the pie. So to get started, here's my mince. We're going to start with this. What we're going to do is we're going to add some spices and everything to it. Firstly, I'm going to add some garlic to it. So I've used 3 garlic cloves. I'm just going to pop them into my mince just to give it some lovely flavour. Once you've added that into there, brilliant. We're also going to add in some olive oil, which we're going to add a tablespoon of olive oil to the mix. Brilliant. I'm going to add some cumin, so we're going to do 2 tablespoons of this. So just pop that in there. Good. Just for a bit of taste. There we go. We're also going to add some oregano, so going to sprinkle some of that in. Roughly about, open the other side up so it comes out a bit quicker, roughly about a tablespoon of that as well. Right, I'm going to give that a mix. So give that a bit of a mix there. Brilliant. I'm going to add in the carrots now. So that was 3 that I peeled and chopped up. So I'm making this for 4 people. And again, depending on how many you're cooking for as to how much the quantities will vary. So that all mixed in there, and I'm also going to add the tomato into it as well. So that was 1 can of diced tomato. Which was about 400 grams or 14 ounces, depending on what you're cooking with. Right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to preheat the oven. So that's all ready. So we're going to turn it on to 180 degrees, or if you're doing Fahrenheit, it's 360. Right, so that's on. What I'm going to do at the moment is I'm just going to set that aside, and we're going to chop up this. That's right. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're just going to chop up the sweet potato, and I'm just going to chop it into quite thin rings just to put a base on our dish in here. Good. Now these are quite big. So if you can't get them in perfect rings, it's not going to matter. And do be careful of your fingers. Right, so with the sweet potato that I've got boiling behind me, all you're going to do is let that boil. And then right with about 10 minutes to go of cooking with the pie, we're going to pull it out. And though they should be boiled by then, and we're going to mash them up and place them on the top of this dish. Right, so I'm nearly finished. Right, so that's what I've done. I've just layered the base of that just so you can see there. What we're going to do now is we're going to pop our mince mixture into that base. I'm going to wash my hands a bit of a quick wipe. Right, so what you're going to do with this, layer that on top of those potatoes. Brilliant. Now you don't want it to come right to the top because we're going to put that mash over it. So, brilliant. So that's that. I'm just going to add a little bit of salt and pepper to that. A wee bit of pepper, a little bit of salt. Right, and now this is going to go into the oven for roughly about 50 minutes. Keep checking on it during that time. And it's going to go in the oven for about 50 minutes. Then we're going to pull it out. We're going to do the mash, sit it on top. It's going to go in for another 10-15 minutes and then it'll be ready to go. So I'll see you back in about 50 minutes time to do our mash and put on the top. See you then. Right, we're back, and what we're going to do now is we're going to mash up our kumara sweet potato. So I'm just going to pop it in here just to drain out all the water. Perfect, and we'll pop that back in there. So when you know your kumaras are ready, you should be able to stick a knife through them and it should come out cleanly. So brilliant. So just going to add a little bit of pepper, wee bit of salt. Now I've got here some coconut milk, which I'm going to add in. Not too much, just a little bit. And then we're going to use the stick blender and just give it a bit of a blender. So. Brilliant, so that's all mashed up. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to grab the pie out of the oven. That smells lovely. So leave that just while we pop our mash over the top. So brilliant. Right, so what we're going to do is basically just pop the mash over top of the mince. Brilliant. Right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to pop it back into the oven for roughly about 10-15 minutes. Just keep an eye on it, watch it. And you want to turn your oven now on to grill, just so that top there crisps up a little bit. So pop that back in now. Good, keep it on the same temperature, just move it around to grill, and we'll see you in 10 minutes for the finished result. All right, see you soon. Right, welcome back. I've just pulled our pie out of the oven and it is looking and smelling great. So, all done. So what we're going to do now is serve it up. This would be great with a side salad by itself or even with some veggies. So I hope you enjoy that. I'll see you next time for our next recipe. Bye for now.